Hey everyone, recently Big Mike, the Dismo, uploaded a video where he said he had just started working with Greenstuff, and he had a question about working with Greenstuff and how to make the Greenstuff last longer, so he had a longer period of time to work with it. I'm not a master of working with Greenstuff, at least I don't consider myself one. I use a lot of Greenstuff because I love converting, and I was just going to show how I do it. Now, the first tools that I ever bought were these metal dental tools, but I really don't use these much anymore. So what I found to be invaluable are these. I know some other people have shown them recently. They're called shapers. I got mine at Hobby Lobby in the US. They were in the doll making section of all places. So if you're looking for them and can't find them, try finding them there. The other thing I have is this cheap dental pick. So when working with Greenstuff, what I do is I use this one dental tool and I just cut off a little yellow, a little blue. Now from what I understand with this Greenstuff mixture, the blue part here is the curing agent. So if you use more yellow and less blue, that'll give you more time to work with the actual mixture. I usually do a 50-50 mix, but what I do is I mix very little at a time, so I don't have a whole lot of it just sitting while I'm working. So got my two components there. Then I don't necessarily recommend this way. This is just how I do it. Then I use the blunt end of my hobby knife. Now I use a piece of plastic card to mix it. I just put a little water on the plastic card, put the two components in the water, and then I just knead it together until you get a nice green consistency. And there we go. I leave it mashed down like that on the plastic card so that it stays in place. So the next thing I do is I take whatever figure I'm working on, I use a dental pick, just pull off what amount of Greenstuff I need, stick it on the figure. Then I'll grab whichever of the shapers best suits the job and I press it down so it pretty much adheres to the figure. Then go to my dental pick again. I always have a cup of water handy. I dip the dental pick in the water, shake it off, and then I manipulate the Greenstuff to create whatever shape I'm looking for. Now depending on, and this is really good for getting it in cracks and creases that you're trying to fill, you just get a little on the end of this, you press it in, and then you just work it. And then depending on what I'm doing, I do use the shaper sometimes to go in and make grooves, make shapes, push it around a little bit. But for the most part, this is the main thing I use for sculpting once I have it in place on the figure. Now another thing, I have this 26 gauge wire. If I'm going to do something like a really long tentacle, maybe some type of long weapon, I will cut off an amount of this and I will Greenstuff around it. That way it will give you the ability to shape it and it'll hold that shape and dry. If you don't, what's going to happen is you make your tentacle or whatever and you set it aside, then gravity's slowly going to have it start pulling down and it won't hold its shape. Now sometimes I do it the hard way and I won't use the armature, the wire. and I'll just have to keep an eye on the figure, and I'll have to keep moving and manipulating the tentacle until it sets in place, much like I did with that one there. So I didn't put a wire in that one, so it kept drooping down, and I'd have to go back and I'd have to push it back up. But pretty much that's how I use Greenstuff. If I get caught up in a lot of detail work and I have some Greenstuff sitting, what I'll do is I'll dip the knife in water again, and I'll just re-knead it into some water. That seems to help it last a little longer as well. But that's all I have for now. If you haven't checked out the Dismos channel, I'll put a link down in the description. I highly recommend it, and I will see you guys later.